you start messaging them on every platform ever. You say, like, oh my God, does he have another account on Tinder? Does he have a Hinge? I'm gonna message him, I'm gonna make a fake account and do it. I'm gonna message him through eBay. I'm gonna message him through Facebook. I'm also gonna try message him through Instagram.
Did you say eBay? Hold on.
Yeah, like literally, it's like to that extent. Like,
CMOTs or
CMORs, ex-boyfriends.
Okay.
See them around, you're like, oh crap.
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
So, I don't know. Let's talk more about that. Like,
what am I trying to do here?
Yeah.
Well, I like talking a lot, so it just worked out well.
Yeah.
Along those lines. Probably equally as much as you.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Yeah.
So, but I can't say I read as much as you.
Okay.
I read, but not to the extent you do, because you read for us. What's that word you said on the podcast?
I remember.
Don't have enough time to read.
Oh, TLDR. Yeah.
TLDR.
Yeah, too long didn't read. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks to you, TLDR. But what I think is people are missing the fact that applied behavior analysis, the first word says apply.
Yeah.
It's literally applied to every single thing we do.
Yeah.
And I think people who are even in the field are forgetting that, hey, this is not just autism. I mean, this is a hot area that it works in, but it's everything.
Yeah.
It's when you tell a joke, people laugh again at it, right? When you go out with one type of asshole guy, you realize you're in the same antecedent conditions in a future relationship and you steer away. Or maybe you'll more. It might actually be reinforcing to you, whatever you're into, I don't know. Yeah. But I want to make it relatable to people that they're like, this is a really cool science. This is not something that's over my head or a philosophy that no one can understand, because to me, ABA really is based on, 3 basic principles that explain everything in the world. Would you agree?
I would agree with you there. I think what that gets me thinking next is like there's a disconnect between, there's a content gap. And like part of that is what you're trying to fill, is like we do not have the examples that we need to be relatable to start building those bridges, right? So even though our field might say like we can solve this problem and like we understand it, even if we have the science there, the general public or the people in that field aren't going to listen because it just does not make any sense to them.
So a lot of the reading is dense.
Yeah.
That's why we have you, because a lot of the reading is really dense. When you pick up a research article, it's dense. You're reading these single subject designs, all these different things, you're trying to pick up on it. And you're like, well, how does this relate to me? Or what's going on in my everyday life? So, I feel like if I could bring this in a relatable way to other people, it gives them that much more of an understanding when they go read the more dense material.
Are there relatable examples that you like go to because they work so well? Like you've brought up the asshole boyfriend in the past or the ex. Like, is there things that like seem to be useful, right? Yeah.
The one example that a lot of people who have difficulty understanding like the extinction procedure of, like putting something on extinction and extinction birth. I often tell the story again about a psycho ex-girlfriend, and I always tell girls in my class, don't ever be that girl. But just for making them remember sake, I say it was me, but obviously I would never do that. So I talk about, so you have a guy you're dating, right? You're messaging regularly, okay? Kind of like at a consistent rate, right? You're seeing I wish we could show the perfect graph right now on the image. Can you show it?
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Okay, so like, just like a pretty stable level of responding. He texts you, you text him, maybe you wait a few days, trying to be like that cool girl, right? Whatever, playing the game. Hate that shit, by the way. But anyways, then what happens is he ghosts you, right? Ghosting, modern day definition of extinction, right?
Yeah.
Your behavior is being reinforced. You were getting that attention. You loved it. What happens now? You go batshit crazy, right? You start messaging them on every platform ever. You say, like, oh my God, does he have another account on Tinder? Does he have a Hinge? I'm gonna message him, I'm gonna make a fake account and do it. I'm gonna message him through eBay. I'm gonna message him through Facebook. I'm also gonna try message him through Instagram.
Did you say eBay? Hold on.
Yeah, like literally, it's like to that extent. Like, Oh, I do know he had an old Yahoo account from his college days. Like, let me try message that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try log into his account too, right? That's an extinction burst.
For sure, yeah.
And people are like, I get this now.
Yeah.
Then eventually it goes down, right? The behavior, it hits a peak, right? We have that extinction burst, goes down, amazing, great. Then you go out with your girlfriends to the bar one night, you're feeling hot and like totally over him and feeling great about it. What happens? You're like, I'm so over this. Okay, yeah, girls, let's go out, find some hotties, and let's have some shots of tequila. It's on me, right? One too many shots of tequila, you start feeling like, oh, we could totally just be friends. I'm just gonna call, check up on him, see how he's doing. Like, we could totally be friends now. I don't give a shit about him anymore, blah, blah, blah. What happens? What happens?
Yeah.
What happens?
Something else happens besides that intent. I don't know.
Spontaneous recovery.
Well, yeah, yes.
You're just checking in.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is like, that's also a risky area where like, what was intended there was just like, oh, what's up? I'm gonna say what's up, right?
Because you're checking in to see if the reinforcement is available again. Is it gonna be there yet? Is it not? Would that not be spontaneous recovery?
No, I think that could fit within spontaneous recovery.
So if he starts responding again.
But I thought what you meant is like what happens, and that might escalate to like.
Oh, you're like saying like what sexually happens to them?
Yeah, like that could be a whole different mess. Like you're asking what are the possibilities? I thought.
Oh,
and I was
they get back together. It's like a shitty relationship, right?
Yeah. No,
you already know the contingency.
You go all over the place. Yeah. Okay.
No.
Yeah,
I meant
but spontaneous recovery. That's
we can
cool.
agree with that.
Yeah.
Like so, if he reinforces it, right? If he responds to her and being like, "Oh, nice to hear from you," blah blah blah. That chick is back at it.
Yeah.
Now, if he ignores her still, she might feel a little dumb, like regret, but she'll stop again, being like, all right, he's not gonna respond. So that is a go-to example.
Real life example.
And I like to point to it on the graph as I'm showing it.
Yeah.
So you could see, it's not just a graph, it's a story. It's like, this is when you go full psycho mode. This is probably the eBay message you sent.
Yeah.
Right? That one's like probably like the peak.
eBay like, if you have to reach for eBay, you're definitely in an extinction period, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. Hell yeah. This is great.